So not so long ago, I received one of those calls that you dread in life and you hope you're not going to have to take. And it was bad news and things that affect people close to me that I love. When something like that happens, it throws up all sorts of worries. And there are worries that we face every day that kind of buzz around our head, and then there are worries that kind of take up home in your heart and they get on the inside of you. And I've given the talks, I've told people how to do it, turn your worries into prayers. This is how to process worry, this is how to get it in its right perspective. And it's another thing when you're staring down the barrel of a situation which you can do nothing about. And in that moment, I found Paul says in Philippians, he says, do not be anxious about anything. It was easy for you to say, Paul, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. I think it's interesting, the word anxious, merimna, means to be in pieces. And when big worries come along, you do feel like you've been shattered into pieces. What do you do? How do you put the shattered pieces of your life back together? Because worry kind of divides your focus, it divides your energy, it divides your thoughts. It sometimes feels like it's dividing your life. And in that time, to try and bring your prayers and your requests to God with thanksgiving. You think, why thanksgiving? Doesn't feel like I have much to be thankful for at the moment. Maybe I'll say thank you once God's answered my prayers. But I think that discipline of gratitude, even in the most difficult times, of saying thank you to God for the good things in our lives, even when we're struggling with worry and even when we're feeling anxious, has a shaping impact on our heart and our mind, so that we remind ourselves of the good things that are still in our lives. So those difficult things don't get out of perspective. They don't appear bigger than they are, even though they're quite big. And the good things in our lives are brought back into the right perspective as well. And over it all, we realize that God is on the throne, that God is sovereign, that He's Lord, and that we can trust Him. So present your prayers and requests with thanksgiving, and then the peace of God, which passes all understanding. The peace of God, the kind of shalom of God, the wholeness of God, the integration of God will put these bits of your life back together into a whole. And then the peace of God isn't passive, it's active. It guards your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. And so just praying through that verse, to me, has been a huge help when the big worries of life have come along.